Journaling is one of the healthiest habits that you can take on. If you've ever wanted to start journaling but felt stuck, overwhelmed, or just wished there was an easier way to do it right from your iPad, then this video was made just for you. I'm Dylan Stewart, the MacWhisperer, and today I'm going to show you how to use Apple's brand new journaling app on the iPad to build a sustainable journaling habit, to capture meaningful moments, to track events and ideas, and to have fun while doing all of it. Make sure to stick around until the end for my MacWhisperer power tip, because this tip is going to take everything you learn about the journal up to the next level. And if you'd like to follow along with today's lesson, scan the QR code right here or hop over to the description section where you can download your free Smart Guide. Our Smart Guides are visual documents that make it easy to follow along step by step with everything we're going to learn today. Journaling is one of those habits that everyone knows is good for them, but it's notoriously hard to start and even harder to stick with. Some people love journaling in these expensive and ornate notebooks that they buy from bookstores or off of Amazon, which is great until you don't have the journal with you, or you can't find a pen, or your hand gets tired, or you want to add photos or videos or locations or all sorts of stuff. Those hard copy journals feel like they're out of the past. And that's where Apple's brand new journal app comes in. It brings the journaling habit up to the digital age. It synchronizes across all of your devices, your iPhone, your Mac, and now your iPad. But the iPad has one major journaling advantage that the others don't have: the Apple Pencil. That makes the iPad the best device for journaling in the entire Apple ecosystem. So let's hop in and get started. Here's the journal app right here. Let's click on it and open it up. Once you open the journal app, the first thing that we need to understand is the layout. On the left side, you've got your sidebar. You can open or close it at any time, which is helpful because when you're writing an entry, you often want as much screen space as possible. This button right here allows you to toggle the sidebar on or off anytime you want. Next to it, you'll see the three-dot menu. This menu allows you to customize your sidebar. Clicking the Edit button here can allow you to remove sections you're not interested in, or reorganize any items by pressing and holding on the three lines and moving them up or down in the listings. The three dots also have three very important setting sections. The first one handles notifications. If you'd like to start a journaling habit and you want to be reminded to keep that journaling habit up and to not lose your streak, clicking on notifications here will allow you to turn on notifications and turn on a streak notification that will alert you in case you forget to journal one day. You can even schedule how often you'd like to journal by clicking on the Manage Schedule button right here and choosing whether you're going to journal every day, every other day, or maybe just on Fridays. You can choose what time you'd like to be notified to do your journaling habit. For me, I like to do it first thing in the morning, so let's come on here and change that to 6 a.m. just like that. If you don't want to be notified and reminded about journaling, you can turn the schedule off right here, and that will eliminate those notifications. And you can still be notified if you're going to break your streak. There are two separate settings, whether you want to be notified about the schedule or whether you want to be notified about breaking your streak. You can set up the notifications any way you want, or you can turn them off. Also under the three dots, we've got health access settings. One of the tools in the journal can allow you to report on your mood, and that can connect to the health app in order to track depression or other mood-related issues. Clicking on Health Access will open you up to the Health Settings section, allowing you to either turn on or off the journal's ability to sync with the health app. And back under the three dots, we've also got the ability to lock your journal so that only you can access it, allowing you to feel safe to write your innermost thoughts without fear of prying eyes. There are several different sections along the sidebar. At the top, we've got our Insights panel. Clicking on that can give you insights about your journaling habit. This is where you'll see your streak and be able to set the schedule if you haven't done that already. You'll also see stats as to all the entries you've made, how many pages you've written, how many days you've journaled, and even a section for visited places. Beneath that, you've got a calendar that shows you all the dates that you've journaled and a photo on the right from one of those dates. You can go back and revisit other journal entries, and you can click on any day that you see a little dot next to revisit the journal from that day. Underneath the Insights panel is our Places panel. Clicking on that gives you a map that shows you everywhere that you've tagged a location on any of your journals. The Places section is very valuable because sometimes you don't know when you wrote something, but you remember where you were when you wrote it. And tagging locations makes this super easy. Underneath that on the sidebar, you're going to see all of your existing journals. When you first start out, you're only going to have one, just the standard journal itself. But by clicking the plus button right here, you can create all sorts of different journals on all sorts of topics. What kind of things would you have separate journals for? Well, stay tuned for the MacWhisperer Power Tip, and I guarantee I'll blow your mind. Now let's click on the All Entries section right here. This shows every journal entry that you've ever created in a clean, scrollable view with previews of text, photos, and attachments. By clicking on the three dots right here, you can change the sort order. From here, you can also click Select Entries, which allows you to pick any entries that you want in order to bookmark them by clicking the bookmark icon right here, delete them by clicking the trash icon, or changing what journal they're in by clicking this icon right here. This allows you to file multiple entries into specific journals, which we'll talk more about in a little bit. You can even search for an entry by coming into the search section and typing in anything that you're looking for. I went to Universal Studios and wrote about it. Let's take a look. As I start to type it, it gives me a location, and I click on it, and it brings me right to the journal entry from that day my family went to the escape room at Universal City Walk, making it easy for me to revisit any moment or any entry with a couple of letters. But now, let's get into the journal habit by creating a new journal entry. Whatever journal you're clicked on the left sidebar is where that journal entry is going to be initially stored. Right now we're in the All section. We'll file it in a little bit. Let's click the plus button up at the top to explore what our options are. Now, because you're on an iPad, you're going to need to decide whether you want to write your journal entries horizontally or vertically. If your iPad is in a keyboard case, horizontal makes sense. But one of my favorite things about the iPad is the ability to hold it vertically like you were holding a book or a notebook. This allows me to hold it with one hand and take my pencil and write directly on it. So whether you're going to do it horizontally or vertically is up to you, but both ways have a plus and a minus. When you're doing it horizontally, you've got more space horizontally, but it's hard to hold it up in the horizontal position. When you're doing it vertically, it's easier to hold, but there's less space. Both ways are great. It's just up to you. I'm going to hold mine vertically because that's the most comfortable way for me to write on my iPad. Before we get started, I need to hide this sidebar. I want all the space available so I have a nice clean workspace. All you have to do is click that sidebar button and the sidebar goes away. Up at the top, we can give this entry a title. You can type with the keyboard, you can use dictation, or you can write with the Apple Pencil. If you write in the title field with your Apple Pencil, it will automatically convert your handwriting into text, just like this. Across the top, you're going to find a set of tools. Let's start with the magic wand that we see right here. The magic wand gives you two separate options of how to create a new entry. On the left, you'll see recommendations. The recommendations will pull from photos of recent events, music you've been listening to, and locations. But it'll also give you suggestions about things you might want to write on. Here's a reflection. What's something that made you smile today? If you like the recommendation, all you have to do is tap right on it and you can start an entry responding to that recommendation. You can also press the arrows at the top of any of these recommendations to give you a different question until you find a reflection that you like. If you scroll down, you'll find other suggestions and you can change those as well. You'll even see people that you contacted with in this list. The idea of the recommendations is spurring you on to write something based on some of the things that you've done recently. If you like one of the recommendations, you can click on the new icon underneath it right here to create a brand new entry with all of the photos or all of the information from that recommendation. But if you don't want to take all of the pictures from a recommendation, you can come into the magic wand and come to the recommendations and click on one of the pictures. I really love this picture of my son Parker. I'm going to click on it right here. Here it shows all of the pictures from that day, but I can uncheck the ones that I don't want to use and just use this one to build a journal entry off of it. When I click Add to Entry, it puts it right into the current entry. And you can even add the recommendations in after you've started a journal entry. So if you'd like to add some photos, you can come right back into the magic wand and add those pictures into this entry just like that. In addition to the recommendations, clicking on the magic wand will also give you this recent section. This recent section shows you photos, conversations, music you've listened to, places you've visited, and other information based on your phone, your watch, and your iPad. You can even add music that you are listening to so that you're inspired when you're looking at the journal entry and thinking about some of the songs that you love to hear. It's easy to do by clicking the little new button underneath any of these entries in order to add all of that entry or any one part of that entry in as a new journal prompt. But of course, you don't have to use the magic wand. You can add things manually. Tap the photo icon right here to access your photo library. From here, you can select any photos from a specific day or event. The app allows 13 attachments per entries, so you can click on any of these to add them right into your journal just like that. And when you're done, click the checkbox to go back to working on the journal entry. You can also click on the camera icon right here to take an immediate picture and add it into your journal. Make sure to click Use Photo in the bottom right or retake if you want to take another picture. You can even shoot a quick video, which can add all sorts of personality into a journal entry, just like this. I love working on the new journal app on my iPad. It's so much fun and it makes me smile. Don't forget to click the Use Video button in the lower right-hand corner to make sure it adds it into this entry. To the right of the camera icon is the location icon. Clicking on this can allow you to tag any location. For example, maybe your journal entry is about that time you went to Disneyland. Coming in here, you can quickly type Disneyland and add it right in, and this journal will be tagged with that location. You can even add more than one location. When you add locations in, you can have them show as attachments or tag as metadata. Clicking where it says Show an Entry Off means they won't take up one of your 13 attachments. Now I can find this journal entry on the map and keep track of it anytime that I want. You can even add voice memos into the journal app by using this icon to the right of the location button. Clicking here opens up voice memo, which can allow you to dictate or record a song that you're playing or something else that's happening. All you do is click the red button and start talking. When I first started using this app, I thought it was not quite as good as Notes, but the more I use it and the deeper I go, the more I'm ecstatic about what this app offers and how fun it is to use to keep track of all sorts of things. When you're completed, click the Done button in the lower right-hand corner here, and it will add that voice memo into this journal entry. And to the right of the voice memo, we have the ability to add our mood. Clicking on this icon right here will allow you to choose how you're feeling. I'm feeling pretty good, so I'm going to turn the slider all the way to the very pleasant section. But if I was feeling a little sad, I could go to the left, unpleasant or very unpleasant. Once you've chosen the mood, click the arrow on the top right to go to the next section. This asks for more information about why you're feeling pleasant, and it will log that information into the Health app. I might say, I'm amazed, excited, surprised, and grateful. Let's click the top right button again, and it gives us one last question about what it is that's having the biggest impact. I'm going to say that's health, hobbies, family, and my partner. Now I can click the checkbox, and now that information is logged into the Health app and added onto this journal entry. But what good is a journal if you can't write on it? Let's start a fresh journal here, clicking the plus button up at the top. And remember that there are multiple ways to write in your journal. First off, you can use your keyboard easily. You can even dictate right into the entry by clicking the little microphone icon to the left of the spacebar, just like this. I'm having so much fun teaching everybody all the things you can do with the Journal app on the iPad. You can also format it. Select anything and come up to the formatting bar up at the top here and choose to bold, italicize, underline, bullet point, or format in all sorts of different ways, including changing the color of your entry just like that. Let's make this purple, let's make this bold, and let's underline the word fun. But there's even one more way that you can write on the journal, and that brings us back to the Apple Pencil. If you've already started writing, you can use the scribble option, which converts handwriting into text. So as soon as I start writing, you'll see that it converts my words into text right here. But maybe I don't want it to convert my words into text. If you click on the markup toolbar up at the top, you can grab any one of your markup tools, including the fountain pen, which looks great on the journal. This means that I can now come in and write by hand. And you'll notice it even cleans up my handwriting, making it more legible. The nice thing about using markup is that in addition to writing with it, you can draw with it. So maybe you want to give yourself a nice fun little robot shape here as part of your journal entry. And because the markup toolbar has so many different tools, you can grab a watercolor paintbrush, a charcoal pencil, a crayon, a pen, or more. This can allow you to really create a beautiful journal entry, or maybe even a piece of art. You can change your color at any time. And if you click on the tool that you're using, you'll get other options that can make that tool thicker or change the opacity higher or lower. And one of my favorite things about the markup toolbar on the iPad is you can put your finger on it and move it anywhere you want to get it out of the way. If you put it towards the bottom, it becomes the bar all the way across. But if you put it over to the side like that, it can be a small circle that gives you easy access without being in the way. Tapping on it again opens it up or shrinks it back down. So now you can use your pencil to draw, to write, to journal, or to have it transfer things into text. If you create a new journal entry and don't start with the keyboard, you can even hide the keyboard, and you bring your pencil in and start writing, it will use the markup toolbar without you even having to trigger it, which is a great way to get started with that journaling habit. Writing by hand is incredibly powerful. Studies show that it activates more parts of your brain than almost anything else, which means that if you want to trigger more neurons in your brain with that journaling habit, the pencil and triggering the markup section is the best way to do that. But there's even more that the markup toolbar hides, because if you come into the markup toolbar and click on the plus button, you can add shapes, text, or stickers. I absolutely love using stickers. You can create stickers either from Image Playground on any of your devices, or by going to your Photos app and pressing and holding on a picture and clicking where it says Add Sticker. Now, in this journal entry, I can come and grab this picture of my son and drop it right into the canvas, positioning it where I want and making it bigger or smaller. And then I can draw right there and punch up that journal entry even more. When you're finished with an entry, you can click the checkbox in the upper right-hand corner to save it. Or if you click on the three dots, you'll see some other options like the ability to change the date, choose which journal you want it to go into, add a bookmark to a part of the journal entry. You can find it quickly, remove the title, or find something within the entry. You can also delete it from right here, but I'm not going to do that. Now let's click the three dots and choose which journal to put this into. Right about now, you're probably thinking, but I don't have different journals. Why would I have different journals and what would I use them for? Well, I'm going to put this one into my Parker journal and click the checkbox. And before we jump into my MacWhisperer power tip, if this video has already been helpful and you've learned something new and you're ready to start your new journaling habit, give it a thumbs up. That really helps other people find it, and it goes a long way. And if you've got a question, a comment, or a super innovative way you plan on using the journaling app, let me know. Drop it into the comments section. I love to hear from you guys, and I love my YouTube community. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, that's like making a New Year's resolution to start journaling and then never buying the book. It's time to make a New Year's resolution to make your tech work better for you. Hit that subscribe button and that notify bell so that you'll always be alerted whenever I drop new content. And now, without further ado, let's jump right in to the power tip. I've been journaling for a long time, but more than journaling, I've been organizing and tracking my ideas for most of my life. I'm passionate about a lot of different things. I love watching movies, I love reading books, I'm learning how to play the guitar, which is one of my new habits, and I love spending time with my wife and with my family and tracking those experiences and memories so I can revisit them later. And one of the best things about the Journal app for iOS 26 is the ability to create multiple journals. How many journals can you create? I don't know. I haven't hit the limit yet. But why would you want to create different journals? Well, there's a lot of things that you could use these journals to track. So in this power tip, I want to show you some of the ways I'm using the Journal app, and I hope that it inspires you for ways that you can also use it. Many people love the Apple Notes app, and you guys know that I'm one of them, but there's something about the Journal app that makes it easier to put in journal entries and track events. Let me show you what I mean. First, a little reminder. You can click the plus button here next to journals to create a new journal on anything. And you can give that journal a simple name like money. Maybe you want to do a money tracking journal. And then you can give it a color and an icon or an emoji. These icons here are called glyphs. They're monochromatic and there's a lot of great options here, but you can also come into the emoji toolbar and pick really any emoji you want. Let's search for money and we'll pick this stack of cash as our icon and click the checkbox in the upper right hand corner. We've created a money journal where we can track all of our spending. Some of the journals that I've been creating that I love to use are things like my books journal. I've created a great book reading habit, but sometimes you read a book and you forget what it's about a month later. I'm tired of forgetting about the books that I've read. I want to have an easy place to store them, to remember them, and to revisit them at will. So while I'm reading a book, I take screenshots of the pages of the book and highlight the sections that connect to me. Just like this. And then, when I'm finished with the book, I take a picture of the cover and I put together a little book report. This way, when I revisit this journal a week, a month, or even 5 years later, I can come back through what I learned about this book, and I don't need to read the book again in order to recapture all of those great ideas. It's one of my favorite uses for the Journal app, but it's not the only thing I'm tracking. If you come down here, you'll see that I'm also tracking movies. Have you ever watched a movie and then forgotten what it was about? Have you ever forgotten that you've seen a movie and watched it a second time only to go, oh right, I didn't like this the first time, that's why I didn't remember it. My wife and I recently saw the movie Good Fortune, and then about a month later I was talking about it and she didn't remember that we'd ever seen it. So I pulled up the Journal app and showed her all the things we did when we went and took my son to that movie that night. We'd captured all of it because it was part of our date night for that evening. And here I'd captured not just the topic of the movie, but I even gave the movie a rating. It was okay, 2 stars. But it's another example of a great journal opportunity because my wife and I do weekly date nights. And when we do these weekly date nights, we take pictures of what we do. And then we can revisit it days, weeks, months, even years later. There are all sorts of tools that you can use in the Journal app to help you really capture that moment, whether it's time capture video of the Lego love set that we built, or a picture of the Bananagrams game where she beat me by that much, or a record of the puzzle that we worked on that evening and the story behind it. In fact, puzzles are another one of my journals right here. My wife and I are puzzle fanatics. But what do you do once you're done with a puzzle? You take it apart, put it in the box, and shove it back in your closet? Or pass it along to some strangers and hope they enjoy it as much as you do? Not me. We take pictures all the way through putting the puzzle together. And my wife and I have some pretty fun ways that we work with puzzles. For example, we never look at the picture on the box of the puzzle before we do the puzzle, which makes for a great story because when we started working on this puzzle, we both looked at each other and were like, this feels kind of familiar. And it turned out that we had done this exact same puzzle about 1.5 years earlier. And we had the pictures and the story to prove it, making Horoscope Cats Take 2 a great journal entry that helps me remember that evening and laugh over the fun of discovering that puzzle all over again. There's all sorts of things that you can use the journal for. Maybe you want to use it for a health journey, keeping track of the weight that you're losing, taking pictures of yourself every day as you go for a run, and even tracking where you went for the run, capturing images of the trail that you took or the experiences that you had. Maybe you'd like to capture memories for a particular member of your family. I recently became a new dad for the third time with my son Parker Justice, and we're capturing amazing memories and moments here. Imagine the fun that Parker will have at 8 or 9 years old to revisit some of these early moments. It's better than showing him a photograph or a little video. There's a whole story behind it. This is the story of Parker and his birth and his life. Or maybe you want to use a journal to track your guitar progress. I'm learning how to play the guitar, so when I find a song that I want to play, I'll put a recording of the song into the journal app and I'll record myself playing it at first. And then as I progress and get better and better and better, I capture more photos and videos, adding them in so that I can revisit the process of learning how to play Wonderful Tonight, or Good Riddance, or Brown Eyed Girl. Maybe you'd like to create a travel journal in order to capture all of the great experiences and memories as you travel around the world. It's easy to do, and because you can use pictures or video or audio or voice memos or locations, it becomes a rich journal that follows you along on your travels. Or one of my most recent created journals is my tech journal, where every time I purchase a new piece of technology, I capture the serial number and a little bit of information about what it was that I purchased, why I purchased it, so that I can keep track of it if I need to replace it, if there's an issue, or if I have a problem with it. This is making it fun and easy for me to keep track of all of the technology that I purchase on a regular basis and make sure that I know when I purchased it and can get back to the serial number without having to hunt around for it. And one of the coolest features of the new journal app is that you can come into any one of these journals and click on the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner to export or print this journal out, meaning that you can capture this journal as a PDF or even make it into a book that you could print out and revisit time and time again without even having to pull out your iPad. So how are you going to use the journal app? Are you going to use it for daily journaling with your Apple Pencil? Are you going to use it to track your health journey or your money journey? Are you going to use it to plan an amazing year this year and make some resolutions like journaling daily that you hold on to that help you become the person you've always wanted to be? It's really up to you, but now that the journal app exists on all of our Apple devices, the phone, the computer, and of course the iPad, there's no more excuses and nothing in the way from you finally accomplishing that journal habit that you've been wanting to start since forever. So that's what I've got for this video, all about how to use the journal app on the iPad. If you haven't had a chance, hop over to the description or hit this QR code to download your free smart guide. I hope you learned a ton, but remember, there's always more to learn. Check out this video over here for even more amazing Apple tips and tricks. I'm Dylan Stewart, the Mac Whisperer, and I'll see you in the comments.